checks.
That's true. Also, occasionally cute selfies with Brie Larson.
Yeah. Yeah, it is nice being close personal friends with Kathleen Kennedy. Actually,
Mm-hmm.
it has made me made me a good person.
Though it does, dismay us a little bit when we hear the constant rumors about how her head is to be displayed on a pike outside
Yeah.
Disneyland.
I thought there just for a minute a while ago of making a Twitter profile of is Kathleen Kennedy fired yet? And then just every day, yeah. But then I'd have to have a Twitter account. And I have too much self-respect for that.
Make it a Blue Sky account.
That's a really good idea, actually.
Has Kathleen Kennedy been fired today?
Yeah.
No.
Nope. And then when she retires, it'll still be no,
Yeah.
comma, but she retired.
And then you retire the account and never post on it again.
Okay, we might actually have to do this. now that you've given me a good vision.
It's a pretty decent, low stress bit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, don't have to do much.
Yeah, you just every day make a Blue Sky post that just says no. Period optional.
Oh, man. Okay, speaking of Blue Sky.
What are we talking about today?
Talking hashtag
Alien Earth.
And hashtag, that's $. Hashtag Star Wars. Come and say hi. Twitch.com/
Switch.tv.
Jedi Enclave Official.
Oh, does Twitch.com actually work?
Yeah, why? Oh, it's Twitch.tv.
Yeah.
Well, I've probably been posting the wrong link for a very long time.
I mean, if it still works, then there's no problem, but
Twitch.tv / Jedi Enclave Official.
That's us.
I'm going to laugh my ass off if I've been making all of these Blue Sky posts with the wrong link to our Twitch. Oh, boy. Okay. Shall we get going here?
I think we better.
All right, let's go. Welcome back to Jedi Enclave. I'm Daniel.
I'm Chris.
And this is the Jedi Enclave Presents. Now, this is Podcasting Podcast, your weekly podcast about Star Wars and Star Wars accessories. I tell you what. And, okay. I'm gonna get something out of the way real quick. We went back and forth on even mentioning it, but it's one of those world events that is going to be talked about for a while, and it is going to end up being extraordinarily consequential for American politics. I fear, but American right-wing activist Charlie Kirk was shot and killed today at one of his Debate Me Bro events on college campuses that he liked to do. And I don't have too much to say about this other than I'm a secular humanist, and what that means is that my entire philosophy, everything that informs how I live, starts with the principle that human well-being is key, and that life is preferable to death. And then from there, you judge every moral action by that, right? And so that part of me kind of doesn't let me celebrate someone's death, but don't for a second expect me to mourn the death of a man who actively sought to reduce the rights of gay and trans people, was on his face overtly, disgustingly racist and a fascist. I am very sorry for his wife's having the worst day of her life, and I, on a human level, feel for that. And he was a father, and he was also someone's son, and those facts make me extraordinarily sad. And I feel for the people that are being, I guess they're shouldering most of the grief of this event today, mainly his wife, because you can't help but imagine like how would I feel if something like that happened to my partner, and that makes me really sad, right? And so so I'm thinking about that kind of as I'm consuming this news, and obviously, I don't think any sane, rational person condones political violence of any kind. It comes down to the fact that I want to live in a world where people aren't shot at events like this, regardless of what they believe in. It is also a fact that everything that Charlie Kirk stood for and fought for was detestable and evil, and we continue the work to undo all of his ideas because they're harmful to society.
All I'm going to say on the subject is that Charlie Kirk once publicly held the position, and I'm paraphrasing here, that school shootings are a necessary sacrifice to preserve gun rights. And that's all I'm going to say on the topic.
Today we're talking about Star Wars movie, or no, this is the wrong part of my notes. Oh my gosh, Star Wars gaming news, not movie casting news. That was last week. Alien Earth Episode 6, which we just finished. And
I don't know, probably something else.
Some other shit.
We'll figure it out as we go.
While you're here, check us on Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitch, Discord, Blue Sky, all the places where we can be, except for Twitter. We are there. So go and check that out. Before a couple of other prefaces I want to make that are way more cheerful and fun to talk about than what we just talked about. I've been checking out the Indiana Jones and the Great Circle DLC called Order of the Giants. I've not made...
I assume you get more fun objects to punch Nazis with.
Yes. In fact, I streamed it the other night. Man, you just said a really relevant thing to what we opened the show with. Oh, no.
Keep moving. Keep moving,
sorry.
Indiana Jones.
Sorry. I think I bludgeoned someone with a little rock hammer.
Okay, cool.
And then a broom.
Mm-hmm.
And a violin.
Okay.
Yeah, and that was a lot of fun, actually.
I'm not sure the violin deserved it, but go on.
The Nazi did. The thing that I like about this game, first of all, is that it kind of penalizes using a gun, because all the fascists and the Nazis will stick to hand until you pull out a gun, and then they pull out their guns, and you don't get a lot of ammo in that game. Like, you can only carry like 15 rounds or something before you're out of ammo, and when you're out of ammo, they don't put their guns away. So,
well, of course not. You have a gun in your hand,
right? Well, I mean, what I'm saying, you could just throw it.
They don't know you're out of ammo.
The thing is, you could throw the gun, and they still shoot you. They just once that bell is rung, that The thing that I liked about this game originally and continue to like in the DLC is that it's got some pretty cool puzzles and shit like that, like that gets my brain moving. I really like stuff like that. So like I said, I'm not all the way through it. I'm not sure exactly how long the DLC is supposed to be. I didn't even realize that it was getting a DLC until I saw the trailer for it at on Gamescom, I think, or Com or whatever. So I've also been dipping my toes a little bit more into Star Citizen.
Okay.
And finding myself, with the exception of today when I got an infinite loading screen every time I tried to log in. Well, I tried to play it a couple of years ago, and it was unplayable. It like literally wouldn't run, and I don't have like a super gaming computer like some people do, but my rig is good enough to play Star Citizen on. So they've made some fixes. I kind of went into it again. The game runs now, which
that's always good.
Yeah. And I don't, because Star Citizen's getting like space games are kind of getting a lot of love right now. Like No Man's Sky had this really big DLC. Elite Dangerous is doing really well despite being a 10-year-old game. They're still producing content for it. So I wanted to look into it because I was an early Kickstarter donor.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know. That's the other thing. That's the other thing is that like I have enjoyed the time I've been playing it the last few days, but it still, I think, is a scam. And I don't know how I feel about that, but I like the idea of what they're trying to do. This like open world, spaceships and space mercenaries and shit.
Can't you just play No Man's Sky or Elite Dangerous for that?
Yes, and I do play Elite Dangerous quite a lot. And by the way, there aren't a ton of things that you can do in Star Citizen that you can't do in Elite Dangerous. And Elite Dangerous runs beautifully on my computer. I love that game. Yeah. But I also like the look of Star Citizen, like the cockpit of my ship.
Okay.
I like the look of it a lot.
Fair.
So yeah, I've done a couple of like contracts, and it is still kind of a buggy mess a lot of the time, but it is more stable, and the bugs seem to not last super long. So will it ever get out of alpha?
No,
probably not. Even though I know that the guy that runs it a couple weeks ago was like, "Oh no, like there will be a release for this game," and it's like, shut the fuck up. No, there's not.
There will not be, but that won't stop him from starting a Kickstarter for Star Citizen 2.
Yeah. So that's kind of been what I've been up to in gaming this last week. Let's talk a little bit about Star Wars.
Okay.
Andor showrunner Tony Gilroy, my fucking hero.
I'm already excited.
A man I love very much. Was talking to someone the other day. And the first
was giving an interview.
Right. The first thing I really appreciated about what he said during this interview was I found out that people were pitting Andor up against other Star Wars shows and trying to force us into a competition with other Star Wars shows. And I hate that because it's stupid and it's clickbaity and everyone's better than that. And I'm like,
yeah,
fucking yes. The other thing is, he let a little detail slip that Lucasfilm might be up to some weird things, saying he teased that Lucasfilm is developing, quote, really unusual projects, potentially signaling a shift toward fresh character settings and genre tones, adding, let your freak flag fly and do what you do best. And that is exciting to me because Lucasfilm absolutely should be doing this.
Yeah.
Like, we do not need another reboot of Star Wars 1977. We don't need another planet-killing thing. Star Wars has been at its best when it's been doing shit differently. And the thing that worries me is that sometimes they don't get rewarded when they go for a big swing and they kind of miss. Like The Acolyte was kind of a big swing for them, and they hit it, but it wasn't like amazing. But instead of rewarding them for having a fresh vision on Star Wars, it became a whole other. And I guess that there's a whole side of Acolyte too that was not their fault.
There was a lot of the worst people in the world being extremely upset that there was a black person on their screen,
right?
And deciding
a lesbian, and that a lesbian was the showrunner,
and then they decided to go on the internet and say hateful things, and
right. And that has nothing to do with the production.
That has
of
nothing
it.
to do with the quality of the show, which
Right.
was
fine,
pretty good.
It was fine, yeah. But Acolyte was kind of a departure from a lot of the Star Wars shit we were getting, and that was kind of exciting. I just kind of wish they had done a slightly better job with it. I think the same could be said about The Last Jedi. And I know that you utter those harrowing words on the internet, and people come out of the fucking woodwork and are about to freak out probably. But having such a key, like an obvious departure from Force Awakens, where it's like, no, this is not going to be just a soft reboot of another Star Wars title. Like we're
gonna do some new shit.
Yeah, and as a result, on the other end of the scale from Acolyte,
it was really fucking good.
Top 3 Star Wars movies for me ever. So I basically what this boils down to is that Tony Gilroy showed Lucasfilm and the world that you can have a divergent vision for Star Wars in a genre and a tone that Star Wars has never explored, and have it be absolutely fucking off the chain. which it was, Andor season 1 and 2, the best Star Wars we've had since Last Jedi. Easily the best Star Wars we've had on Disney Plus. Go ahead.
I think my big thought here is that it's easy to forget nowadays, like how and why the original Star Wars was so revolutionary. Like Star Wars or science fiction back then was like Flash Gordon, this super campy stuff that didn't take it, that like you weren't meant to take seriously.
Ironically, Flash Gordon being a huge inspiration for George Lucas,
Yes.
but you're not like what you're
And
saying is
then
true. Yeah,
George Lucas and all
with
the people,
disco film scores and
Yes.
shit. Yeah,
all the people who came in to save George Lucas's vision from himself and the various issues he was having at the time, turned it into something that, yes, was still science fiction, but something that you could approach seriously. Like, it had its aesthetic that seemed like Star Wars, like a reasonable universe that people would have built.
yeah.
That had serious quality music backing it up, that had, at the very least, a couple of name brand actors that probably wouldn't have touched a science fiction project before this.
Yeah, Alec Guinness wouldn't have. I'm pretty sure the only reason he did it is because they give him enough money to go build another house or something. Yeah. It's
And so that spirit of trying new things and hesitate to use the word revolutionize, but that's been baked into Star Wars from the very beginning, and that's when Star Wars is at its best, when it's pushing limits and trying new things.
I agree. And I think Tony Gilroy agrees too. All right, now shift gears slightly.
Okay.
4 years ago, we got a stunning announcement that the Knights of the Old Republic was getting a remake. And it was originally going to be developed by Asper, who are, I think, the same guys that did
They did some other...
the Battlefront 2, like the original, the 2005 Battlefront 2.
That sounds familiar, yeah.
However, in the last 4 years, this project has...
Many things have changed.
For example, Asper isn't doing it anymore. Saber Interactive is doing it. There was the company changed hands. I think a Chinese company ended up buying the...
It was probably Tencent.
Yeah.
It's always Tencent.
So there was an official trailer for it that was just Revan with a lightsaber.
Which got delisted.
Yes, right. And so they still insist it's happening. But I just wanted to kind of remind everyone that 4 years ago, this is the thing that's happening. That is, if the developers are to be believed, something that is still happening, and that, quote, when it's cool to share, we'll share. So the reason I'm bringing this up, first of all, 4 years went by and we still don't have this motherfucker, which pisses me off. But new concept art surfaced from, I think, when Asper was working on the game.
Yeah, that's the thing. This is old concept art from the previous developer.
Right.
So who's to say that this is even what the new game is going to look like?
Right.
But
we get a look at Kashyyyk, which was one of the locations that you visit in the game.
spoilers.
Right. Oh yeah, I probably shouldn't say who you pick up on that planet, because you meet a companion there.
Yes.
And,
You meet people and
things happen.
Lightsaber some of them, and things blow up.
Yes.
And
So I took a look at the images. It looked pretty neat.
yeah. I mean, it looks like Kashyyyk.
Right. It looks more like Kashyyyk than it looked in the original game, which I think is kind of cool. And
That is because, number one, we didn't have, I think, as strong of an understanding of what Kashyyyk looks like.
Right.
And number two, the original game was very much limited by the hardware available at the time,
Right.
which, like, it was on Xbox, which was the most powerful console at the time. Still doesn't look good by modern standards.
Yeah, the problem is that the thing, it was on the most advanced console at the time. The bad news is the most advanced console at the time was the original Xbox.
Yes.
Yeah, and it I remember playing this game for the first time long after it was popular, because I think that game was popular when I was in high school. I didn't play it until I was in college, and I skipped family Thanksgiving when I was a freshman in college, and pretty much just bummed in my partner at the time's apartment, and played like sat through and played the whole thing over like a week during fall break.
Yep.
And was really impressed by the story. And it's in my mind now because I'm almost finished doing a run through of Knights of the Old Republic 2, which I've been streaming on and off for the last several weeks. And it would be really cool to revisit these games with like some good polish on them, and because they're still kind of buggy, and I think the first game was buggier than the second game even. But the thing that always really the thing that really got me when I played it the first time is that there is a masterful, and I won't spoil it, there is a masterful story twist toward the end where you're like, holy shit. I had like, and I'm pretty good at detecting shit like that, and I was just like, oh my god, what is happening? So guys, stop fucking around, give us this game, because I'd very much like to play it. It's not like we're getting any other games soon, I guess.
Not any Star Wars games, I don't think.
Well, actually, to contradict both of us, Star Wars.
I have one thought before we go into this. I can't help but contrast how the Knights of the Old Republic remake has been handled with another remake of a game I'm excited about, the Final Fantasy Tactics remake, which for over a decade, I think, was rumored to be happening. And like Jason Schreier, the games journalist at Bloomberg, would like every year or so would go on Reddit and say, yeah, Final Fantasy Tactics remake is happening, guys. Just source, trust me. Mm-hmm. And then
was he right the whole time?
He was.
Yeah. Oh, good for him.
Because Square announced it just like 2 or 3 months ago, I think, and like it has a release date. It's releasing at the end of this month. There's
that's wow. Yeah. Okay, this is like, so only a couple months from its announcement.
Pretty much, yeah. So like
they were working on that motherfucker. Yes, then
that is how you handle a remake or a new entry in a beloved franchise like this. You keep it completely under wraps until you are damn sure it is going to come out, because otherwise fanboys are going to react like you're, I don't know, kicking their dog or something.
Right. And yeah, because when you do it like that, it kind of feels like a gift a little bit. They're like, surprise, we got you this. Mm-hmm. And even though we're paying for it, we're like, thanks. Yeah.
As opposed to waiting 4 years after the initial reveal trailer for nothing.
Right. And obviously that the reveal trailer for KOTOR existed to kick up fan hype.
Yes.
Right. And that's the problem, is that when that backfires, you look like fucking idiots. Mm-hmm. You know. There is a Star Wars game coming up, apparently. However, unless you own a Meta Quest,
a Zuckerberg headset,
yes, you won't be playing. It's called Star Wars Beyond Victory, which is a mixed reality pod racing adventure game. And so it's coming out October 7th, 2025. So next month. Yeah. It's only available on the Meta Quest 3. Industrial Light and Magic is developing it. And basically, so there are 3 core game modes. There's adventure mode, where you play as Volo Bolas, and you're a pod racer, and you work on your own pod and shit, and you run into characters. I think like Sebulba is in it, and a couple of other like familiar faces. Yeah. There's an arcade mode, which is a top-down holotable racing experience. And there's playset mode, which is a creative sandbox using unlockable digital action figures so that you can stage custom stories in your physical space using virtual characters and vehicles, which I'm sure they won't microtransaction the fuck out of. I'm absolutely sure that won't be the case.
It's going to be the case.
Yeah. So the thing is that I have literally no desire to own one of these headsets. And when they announced it, I thought they were fucking weird anyway. Have you seen, because you know that you can put them on.
What, you don't want to strap a phone to your face?
No. As it turns out, I do not. But have you seen, like, so they're like, well, we want you to wear these all the time, but we don't want to unsettle your friends. So what we're going to do is you're going to wear it, and there's going to be a camera inside that looks at your face, and we're going to project that on the outside.
That's fucking weird.
Have you
I have not seen it, and I have no desire to.
It
sounds really fucking weird.
It is unsettling. It is so weird. And I don't know what the fuck they were thinking. I don't know. I'm like, put me in stasis and wake me up when we have like holodeck technology, where like I can't tell the difference between the game and real world.
Problem is, if we put you in stasis, you're more likely to die as a result of the oncoming nuclear war and collapse of human civilization as we know it.
True. Man, what a great time to be a human.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We are going to move on to...
Is it alien time?
Yeah, Alien Earth, episode 6, called The Fly. Which, how many episodes is in this show?
I have no idea. Let me consult the font of all knowledge.
8, maybe?
That would be...
I'm going to guess
typical.
8.
Let's see. Wikipedia. Here we go. Vamp for a second.
Vamp.
8. According to Wikipedia.
Okay, yeah. So we're close to the end, which I think you can kind of feel.
Kind of feels like it.
Right. Things are kind of picking up a little bit. I did see an article from like Collider or something that was like, guys, why is the eyeball sheep stealing the show? And it is quickly becoming
eyeball sheep is the main character, and you can't convince me otherwise.
It is my favorite part of the show. And I would be lying if I said I wasn't actively rooting for it to kill everyone, because I love it and I wish I had one.
At the very least, kill Cavalier.
Oh yeah, definitely. Wow, what a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Spoiler-free thoughts before we get into spoilers?
There were definitely a couple moments where the music made you and me look at each other and chortle.
Yeah, okay. So
like it's almost a note-for-note quote of the Force theme.
Yes. This is where it gets really bizarre. Because first of all, it's not the first time it's happened.
Yeah.
I think it happened either last week or the week before. Mm-hmm. And while watching the episode with my partner, who is an extraordinarily accomplished musician and clarinet and saxophone player, one of the best musicians I've ever met, we sat down and watched the scene, and I was like, oh my gosh, wait until you hear it. And then it happened, and he's like, I didn't, what? And I was like, John, it's the Force theme.
Extraordinarily accomplished musician, but also a Trekkie.
Yeah. And like, he's also a huge Star Wars fan and would know the Force theme. Mm-hmm. It just, he didn't hear it. Like, I guess like we heard it.
I guess.
Because I thought it was kind of obvious.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there was a moment in this one too where it sounded like they were just quoting the Force theme, which I don't mind. It's a good theme.
Let's see.
There are big spoiler things in it that's gonna kind of be hard to talk around because there's some character deaths and like shit's going down. But I continue to enjoy the corporations are the bane of existence and are terrible and are going to destroy the earth, which I feel like people in everyday real life, that's a message we all kind of like resonate with.
Yeah.
And otherwise, I've been enjoying the acting performances in this show. I like the guys that are acting like kids. I know that maybe this is a thing that actors can just do really well, but like I'm very impressed by it. There are moments where you're like, holy shit, that's a 10-year-old in a 30-year-old man's body. What the fuck? And
I can acknowledge that those actors are doing a very good job portraying the roles that they're given. Mm-hmm. While also not really enjoying the concept of the characters that they're portraying.
Okay. All right, that's fair.
Because kids are annoying.
Kids are the fucking worst. No, I'm on board with that. If you're a kid, stop watching our podcast. Also, don't tell your parents we say the F word so much. Timothy Oliphant continues to be kind of a star in the show.
My boy Kirsch.
Even though he plays that character very stoically. Mm-hmm. He's a machine.
Stoically, yet very snarkily.
Yeah. Also, I'm pretty sure after watching this episode, he's got some fucking plans he's working on.
Oh, yeah. Like, we talk about the eyeball sheep making plans.
Kirsch is making his own
plans.
Kirsch has
plans.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's get into spoilers. If you've not seen it, go and watch it. Come back. If you have seen it, let us know in the comments what you thought and what you liked and what you didn't like. And if they come in at appropriate times, I'll take a look and we'll discuss briefly. So, Boy Cavalier. still has a Peter Pan obsession, and I don't imagine it'll go anywhere. But he likes to read from the text into his little microphone as we get shots of like the creatures at Neverland. Oh, another thing that could count as spoiler free, and I've said this every time we've talked about the show, the previously on thing that they do is brilliant. It's a really good way to do it, and I love the main theme for the. It's only like 2 bars long, but it's really cool. I like it a lot. So he's reading fucking Peter Pan and shit, and we get the creatures are in the containment things.
Very safe inside their glass and steel boxes. Yes. I'm sure they'll never get out.
Exactly. I'm sure they're very secure, including the ever patient and calculating eyeball sheep.
And eyeball sheep, the true protagonist.
Yes, my prince, the eyeball sheep.
Princess? I think they've stated that.
Oh, they did call it a girl. Yeah, I'm not sure. In my notes, I just have eyeball boy.
Emperor.
Yeah. Wait, what'd you say?
Emperor.
Oh, okay. So, eyeball sheep is watching and studying Wendy as she talks to the baby xenomorph through the glass.
Which has gotten disconcertingly large.
Yes, and it gets bigger later on. But she's like sitting there talking to it and shit. And eyeball fucking sheep is like looking at them like, what the fuck is happening right now?
What is any of this? Since when can you do that?
Yes. And he just like he just standing there like, oh, I got to do something about this. So this is also really funny based on what we know what happened in the last episode on the Maginot, and the fact that like the eyeball boy and Xenomorph had like a duel.
Yeah.
Like he attached to his face. He's like, oh, I'm going to eat your fucking eye out. He's like, oh shit, you don't have an eye.
What the hell?
And then he just like fucks up. He's like, I'm going to slink away now. Yep. That's the exact sound it makes. So, eyeball boy looks into the adjacent containment cell and notices that the creature in that cell has built a little nest.
It's like a wasp nest.
Yeah, up in the corner. Like the upper corner, and like something is living in it, right?
That's interesting.
Yeah, so he's like, okay, all right, a plan is coming together. Let me think about this for a second.
I can work with this.
Another unavoidable fact of this show: the baby xenomorph is cute. I'm sorry, I know that it's adorable, and if it stayed that size and didn't possess the ability to immediately kill you, which it can even as a...
If it wasn't a xenomorph.
But it is kind of cute, and he like goes to the glass to say hi to Wendy, and Kirsch and Joe are watching, but then he like lunges at the window, and it's like, is he trying to give her a hug, or is he like trying to like bite her jugular out?
Yes.
Because it could be either of those, right? Maybe both. So Kirsch and Joe have a conversation about Wendy, and Joe wants to know what happens to her after she like graduates from or whatever the fuck that means. And he's like, she'll need someone to take care of. And Kirsch is like, listen to me. What you just said, that's like an onion asking, how can I take care of a star? And it's like, goddamn, Kirsch, you don't have to be such a dick.
He does, actually.
He might be in his programming,
yes.
actually, yeah. I laughed out loud. That was actually pretty funny to me. So Kirsch more or less further disabuses.
Look, she is the property of the company.
Yeah.
She is never leaving. You can just give up this whole family thing.
Just cut it out. That's just never
by
happened.
the way, she has the capability to develop faster than light travel and explore the galaxy for the rest of
eternity.
time.
Yeah.
And you want her to go home and play house and be a family.
Yeah. And he's like, yes.
I mean, like, when you put it that way.
I would like that. He's like, well, you're a fucking idiot. That's never going to happen. So, meanwhile, Nibs, one of the kids, one of the Lost Boys, gets a scan. And Arthur is there.
This is the one that freaked out on Dame Sylvia.
The pregnant one, apparently.
Yes.
Yeah. Arthur and his wife, Dame Sylvia, are there. And the security guy, they're all discussing her claim that she was pregnant. And it is hilarious to me. In the background, there's an x-ray of Nibs' abdomen from two different angles. Because they're like, okay, that's on its face, patently ridiculous. But we better check.
However, we are ostensibly people of science, so let us investigate.
Right. So they did the X-rays just to make sure. Imagine the shit in their pants if they would have taken that X-ray and Nibs was actually pregnant. It would have been like, what are we doing? What the fuck is happening?
I didn't even know that was possible.
Yeah. So, I just think it's funny. They wanted to make absolutely sure that she actually wasn't pregnant. So, the security guy is like, so how do we fix her? And Dame Sylvia is like, therapy, you fucking idiot. And of course, the security guy is like, no,
That takes too long.
nope,
Out of the
we're not doing it. So he demands that they give Nibs a memory wipe to set her back before the tower incident.
Yep.
And like fuck with her processing, like throttle her processing speed or something, which will fundamentally alter her personality, which is apparently very against the principle of their entire program. And security guy is very concerned. He's really concerned about. He needs Nibs to be able to impress investors in 3 weeks because they're doing a show. Yeah. And he's like, she needs to stand on the
shareholder
stage,
meeting,
right, and wave and everything,
and be able to hobnob with VIPs.
Right. Yeah. So Arthur obviously refuses, but his wife Dame Sylvia is like, I'll do it.
Yeah. Okay, I can do that.
And
Security guy's like, great, Arthur, you're fired.
Yeah,
get the fuck out.
Fuck off. And
Arthur's like, you can't fire me. You need me for this project. And security guy's like, apparently we just need your wife. Now fuck off.
That is apparently not a true statement. I find this rather cold. Because if it were like my partner and I working at a job like that, if someone looked at John and was like, you're fired, I'd be like, fuck you. I'm fired. I'm firing myself. Yeah. Fuck off. So Joe and Wendy talk. He thinks it was a mistake bringing the aliens here. And Wendy has kind of become very attached to the xenomorph, despite the fact that it might want to kill her. It's unclear at the moment. Yeah. And Wendy has the delusion that, like, she's like, oh, the xenomorph, my friend the xenomorph could be good. Like, I can fix him.
I think our position here is that, A, none of the aliens asked to be brought here. Like, they were just kind of picked up from their home and transported.
Which does suck.
Yes. And B, that she's sort of anthropomorphizing the aliens. Like,
because it is cute.
Yeah.
It's cute as fuck.
Not only that, but, like, she understands that people have the potential for all sorts of things. So these aliens, which have displayed the cunning to be able to, like, hunt prey and things, maybe they also have the potential for both good and evil.
Or the eyeball, who I think might be an astrophysicist on his planet or maybe, whatever. Yeah. Or her planet.
Her planet.
Yeah. So Yutani and Boy Cavalier meet for arbitration. And of course, they make Boy Cavalier as...
comes in his pajamas, barefoot, fucking walking across the room, propping his feet up on the table.
I'm surprised he didn't walk in there with, like, his fucking acoustic guitar and be like, hey, I can play some Dave Matthews.
You think he knows how to play guitar?
Maybe. I do believe...
I mean, I'm not questioning his mental capacity to learn how.
Yeah.
I'm questioning that he ever thought it was worth the time.
Yeah, you're probably right. So Morrow is there on the Yutani side. Kirsch is there on the Boy Cavalier side. Of course, Boy Cavalier is being super extra, and he spreads his legs and puts his feet up on the table. So the Yutani, and there's an arbitrator who's like, guys, I want everyone to get along. Yutani, what's your opening statement? And she's basically like, well, it's our ship. Everything on it is ours. We want it back. And Boy Cavalier interrupts, and he's like, okay, it is your ship, but it crashed into my building. You can have it back.
It killed a lot of my people, which I am very definitely broken up about.
People, right, yeah.
This is my broken up about the deaths of my people face.
And then he giggles. So it was a really good Boy Cavalier giggle. So he's like, look, you can have the ship back when we figure out how to remove it from the building safely. And when asked about the creatures, he says, well, like, what if the crash wasn't an accident? Like, it could have been like criminal negligence, which would make me the victim in this whole situation, obviously. And then he crawls up on the table like a fucking creep and reveals...
I think he's trying to be a xenomorph?
Or something, yeah. and reveals the creatures are alien, like invasive species that are predatory.
Which violates the law.
Yeah, it's against the law. And Utani kind of admits it. She's like, I'll admit they're proprietary just fucking specimens, but let's not get into the legal weeds. Bottom line, I'll give you $10 billion on top of the settlement just for your pain and suffering. I think it's really interesting that this is supposed to be for all the people that were killed or hurt, but the money goes to Boy Cavalier anyway, which really sucks.
I mean, the I guess for public consumption justification is that Cavalier would distribute it afterwards, but he's not going
Bullshit. To. Yeah, never gonna happen.
Also, it's funny that early on in the discussions, Cavalier's like, what, you're gonna pay me money? I have more money than I know what to do with. Right. Who gives a shit?
Yeah, money is not the problem here. I want sweet ass aliens.
Yeah.
So he negotiates the pain and suffering number, and they land on $20 billion.
I love the way they do it, because Utani starts at 10, he starts at 20, Utani says 15, he says 25, she says 20, he says deal.
Yeah. He plays her like a fucking fiddle. Yeah. Like, he very clearly, I think he realizes how much they want those aliens back.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like, great, $20 billion, and I will return the specimens after the legal 6-week quarantine.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, for fuck's sake.
$50 billion.
$50 billion.
But right now.
Yeah, and I want them right now. And he's like, but what about the people? It's not safe. And you can just see Utani's like, this motherfucker.
I am this close to letting Morrow kill you right now in this room.
So there's a funny thoughts and prayers dig that he does where he's like, oh, thoughts and prayers, and then like walks off. And then you can hear him squealing with glee down the hallway. Look, you'll have no trouble convincing me that Boy Cavalier is a piece of shit. However, his actor plays him very well. Yes. And he's very entertaining.
He is an extremely well-acted piece of shit.
So Utani calls Morrow over.
The arbitrator is like, well, Mrs. Utani, I hope this has been to your pleasure. And you kind of like, just shut the fuck up and get out of here.
Get out of my sight.
She's like, okay, Morrow, come here. Like, what's your plan for getting the creatures back? Actually, I don't even care what your plan is. Just fucking do it. And if you can kill Boy Cavalier in the process, great.
I want my aliens back.
Yes.
And Morrow's like, here's my plan. We destabilize the facility and exfil in the chaos. And she's like, sounds fucking good.
Perfect.
So Kirsch gets on an elevator with Morrow, and this is an awkward conversation because I'm starting to think, might not like each other.
No shit, Sherlock.
So they snipe at each other over their various levels of robotness. Morrow mentions the hybrids and their shiny new bodies, and he's like, oh, I've got to get me one of those. And without skipping a beat, fucking Kirsch goes, a child or a body that isn't so sad? And it's like, damn, dude. Like, you had to go after his dead kid and his sorry-looking body. Mm-hmm. That's pretty rude. And then Morrow says, you know what I love so much about killing synths? They don't feel pain, so nothing clouds their mind when I start chopping them up. And Kirsch is like, that doesn't make sense, really, because wouldn't you think that you know what? Never mind. Whatever. The elevator ride ends, and we start to get the notion that maybe these guys are going to be friends throughout the rest of the show. Nibs, meanwhile, back on Neverland. Nibs is still in charging mode. Mm-hmm. Dame Sylvia puts on her fucking glasses, which, by the way, we talked about this in our Discord channel. I hadn't realized until a couple of days ago that the actor that plays Dame Sylvia is the
Game
same.
Of Thrones alum.
That plays Lady Crane in, I think, season 6 of which my partner and I just finished. We watch Game of Thrones once a year, mm-hmm. and we just finished her like little bit in the show. She dies just like most of everyone else in the show. Spoilers, sorry. So she puts on her glasses and she goes to work making the adjustment to Nibs' memory. And she's basically doing a factory reset. She like holds her nose for like 3 seconds and sticks a finger in her ear, and there's like a boo-doop. And then she's like, all right, fixed it.
We're done.
Yeah. She is, however, to her credit, very clearly conflicted about doing it. Right.
Mm-hmm. So
Nibs wakes up to Wendy and seems like a new person. And Wendy mentions, she's like, so what's the deal about you being pregnant? And it's like, guys, did no one tell Wendy not to
No,
that she
nobody told Wendy that any of this was happening.
Yeah.
So Wendy just proceeds over the course of this scene to regurgitate everything that happened in the time period that they wanted Nibs to forget.
Right. She's like, you were pregnant, but that was after you got attacked by the eyeball monster.
And the eyeball monster happened at the crash where we were going to help save people, and there was all this blood and fire and chaos, and Nibs is like, what the fuck
what are you talking about? I don't want to talk about this
None
anymore.
of that happened. What are you talking about?
So Wendy's like, what the fuck's wrong with you? And this upsets Nibs because she's starting to realize that there's a part of her experience missing. And so Wendy does the real responsible thing is like, I'm leaving. I don't understand how to deal with it.
The
I'm gonna go yell at
responsible
someone.
thing would have been for someone to have told Wendy that, hey, don't talk to Nibs about all this.
Yeah.
But responsibility is not something in great supply on this show.
They do seem to give the kids a lot more autonomy than they probably should be allowed.
Yeah.
Which I get that they're in adult bodies, but I mean, these are like 10-year-old kids.
Yeah.
And like, you wouldn't just leave a 10-year-old by themselves. Like that's a really bad idea. So Boy Cavalier is reading a little bit more Peter Pan.
Mm-hmm.
Poor Slightly is in the woods talking to Morrow, and he's not having a great time because Morrow is like trying to coerce him.
Just fucking get someone near the egg and then drag him away somewhere.
Yeah, he's like, Slightly, I want another baby xenomorph today. So his buddy Smee finds him and asks if he's okay.
Mm-hmm. Slightly like, no, but yes, but no.
Yeah, and then Smee is like, why is everyone so cranky all of a sudden around here? This place sucks. And it's a very kid thing where like Smee is like, so are we still friends? Because he's really anxious about, because they're like, Smee and Slightly are friends. And so Slightly promises, he's like, hey, we can play games together when I've got shit I have to do, and then like after that we'll play all the games you want. And Smee gives Slightly a grown-up hug, which I laughed at because it's just a side hug.
Yeah.
Which is a thing that teachers are trained to do, because little kids love to give adult hugs. Not adult-size hugs. They love to give adults hugs, especially their teachers. And for obvious reasons, because we live in the worst version of the of this like existence.
Shouldn't do that.
We are trained that when a kid, if you're rushing up to me with a hug, I go like this, and I give you a side hug, so that our fronts don't touch, right? And that's what he does. He must have seen the side hug somewhere, and he's like, I think guess. This is. It would have been the funniest shit in the world if he would have done like the Hercules like handshake. This deal. They do that on Game of Thrones too, by the way. We're grown-up hug. Okay, we're moving on from grown-up hug. So Joe is in his room drawing diagrams of the compound, and Slightly is just suddenly there.
Just there. Just Batman.
Fucking creepishly like staring at him.
He's like, hey, you want to definitely not go towards that xenomorph egg so that a monster can attack your face?
Yeah. So first he's like, hey, let's go look for Marcy or Wendy or whatever. Morrow is in his ear the whole time. He's like, gotta seal the deal here, kid. I'm gonna kill your mom. And he coaches him on what to say to Joe, and like slightly starts to complain how unfair it is that he can't have his own family like Wendy, which Joe is like, no, that's shitty. I get that. Like, I totally understand that. And Slightly is like, Joe, I want to show you something. It's really cool, but it's a secret. You can't tell anyone. Let's go look at it. And he's like, you're acting real weird. And no, I don't think so. And they're interrupted by Joe's Marine friends, who they're like, hey, we got to go out on patrol, get your fucking poncho on. And Joe's like, oh, thank God.
These kids are so fucking weird.
Yeah, they are so strange. So Joe and his buddies go on patrol. They seem to know that Yutani might send people to recover the aliens, so they're like kind of on.
And this whole time, Joe's like, "So, what do you guys know about boats?
Yeah,
are there any boats on this island?
First of all, are there boats?
Any of you know how to drive a boat?
Second of all, how to drive boats? And third of all, which direction to drive boats?"
Finally, his girlfriend is like, "Just fucking stop with the boats.
Yep.
Like, you're not leaving.
Yeah.
Okay? Like, it's stupid on any number of levels.
Yes.
Just fucking, you're here. Deal with it.
Also, we're alive and we're making money. Don't fuck this up for us." So, meanwhile, Wendy is hanging out and chatting with the xenomorph, who is now much bigger, like nearly adult size.
Yeah.
Boy Cavalier and company get on their ride to get home. Kirsch calls Isaac and tells him to feed and water the creatures and pick an experiment on the list to do. And Isaac, of course, is thrilled to be counted on.
Yes.
Because he's a kid, and
he's a kid being asked to do real grown-up stuff.
Yes.
And you ask a kid to do real grown-up stuff and don't explain to them that it's chores they're going to have to do for the rest of their lives. They're
Right.
thrilled.
Yes.
They're all over that shit.
Eyeball Sheep watches very patiently as Isaac comes into the room.
There's a nice detail, like Kirsch asks Isaac, is Curly there? And Isaac
Right, yeah.
looks very deliberately at Curly before saying, no, I'm alone.
Nope, I can do it all alone by myself. So he goes in to feed the creatures. The fucking sheep is watching him the whole time. And you know that sheep is like, oh, they sent the moron in. Let's fucking go.
This is my time.
Yep, this is the best chance I have. So Isaac feeds Eyeball Sheep. Then he feeds...
Then there's like an airlock for them to put food
Right.
in there, and it like both sides are never open at the same time.
Yeah, and I like how there's a shot where like he gives the sheep little like balls of hay, and the sheep looks at him like,
The fuck is this?
"Oh, really? Fucking hay."
This is beneath me.
Yeah. So he feeds the plant thing.
Which like has a tentacle kind of looking at him.
Yeah. He accidentally damages one of the feeding doors for where the insects are. And so he opens the containment room entirely while the sheep watches, right? And he's trying to like put the food in, and he's like propping the door open with his foot, and hilariously the sheep just jump scares him, like
Just
hits the
bangs his
window.
head against the window, and he's like, ugh.
It frightens him, and the door closes, and so he's locked in with this fucking thing, right? And it turns out that the thing growing in the room in that little hive were the flying bugs that we saw in other episodes. And it lands on Isaac, and it squirts something on his face, and it melts his fucking skin, and it causes him to shut down. And Eyeball Sheep does a little victory stand up.
It's like, oh, that worked out better than I thought it would.
He's like, he stands up and he looks down to like to like appreciate his handiwork, you know. And then the bugs start eating Isaac. There's a parallel made here with the Peter Pan voiceover. Basically, like in Peter Pan, when the kids grow up too fast, Peter thins them out, which is horrifying. Isaac was clearly growing up too fast. Like he got his own name, he was doing science, and so this was him being thinned out, right?
I guess.
Kirsch watches the entire thing.
Yeah, Kirsch is just looking at his iPad the entire time while they're flying.
Yes, and I'm starting to think maybe this was a part of his plan.
Or at least an experiment.
Yeah, I think he was like, the kid's gonna fuck this up. I don't know how, but somehow he's gonna fuck it up. Also remember that Kirsch knows it slightly. He's trying to figure out how to infect someone with a xenomorph. It hasn't said anything to anyone, and so he's watching it all unfold. Dame Sylvia comes back to her office to find Wendy, who is demanding to know what happened to Nibs. She tries to blame it on Glitch, and Wendy gets pissed.
It's like, that wasn't no glitch.
Right.
Like, you did that on purpose.
Her main problem is that Nibs didn't have a choice. So
Dame Sylvia does a lot of rationalization here.
Yeah.
Like,
I think we talked about this before. I think she thinks she's doing the right thing, but she might be a little too close to the success of the project to be seeing things clearly. But Dame Sylvia,
she certainly does not have the strong sense of morality and ethics that her
husband
does.
has, right? Yeah. So she talks to Wendy about her going to the secure lab a lot. And Wendy seems upset that the creatures are just experiments to Boy Cavalier like us. And she also gets upset when Dame Sylvia calls her Wendy. And so she's like really latching on to her like former name. So Dame Sylvia tries to get her to sit down and talk. And Wendy says, I don't want to be people. I don't want to be people anymore if this is what people are, killing things just to see what's inside. And Dame Sylvia says, you have to tell me what's wrong so I can help you fix it. To which Wendy says, what if you are what's wrong? And fucks off.
Yep.
And Dame
Sylvia
Sylvia
is like, well, shit.
Right.
What
And
am I supposed to do about that?
it also see this from Dame Sylvia's perspective, where this is the second kind of creepy interaction she's had with the Lost Boys in like one day. So she's like, oh God, this fucking job, dude.
I need a drink.
Yeah. Arthur packs his shit up, and Joe shows up. And like he tells Joe, he's like, oh, it's not like I got fired. Oh, wait, I did.
Like, wait, you got fired?
Yeah. So
Joe's like, okay, really sorry about you losing your whole job and everything, but is my sister safe here?
I do like how he's like, I've got 6 degrees. 6 degrees. Don't worry about me. I'll land somewhere. I'm a very smart man.
I can land on my feet.
Yeah.
Joe's like, is my sister safe here? And Arthur like pauses, looks over his shoulder at the security camera, turns back to Joe.
It's
and
so
says,
obvious.
Absolutely, she is safe.
Yes.
Me and my wife, we're taking the very best care of her and all the Lost Boys. In fact, let me show you. I can pull up their vitals right now. Why don't you just come around and look at this computer screen that I'm typing a message on?
The entire time he's saying this, he doesn't blink a single time. He's like wide-eyed. He's like, no, she's
like,
absolutely safe.
Joe's like, for some reason, I think you're trying to give me a coded message,
Yeah.
but I'll play along with it.
Yeah, he's like, speaking of coded message, come over to my terminal, please. And like pulls up Notepad.
Yep.
And is like, we're all fucked. Here's the boat.
Get her out of here.
Yeah.
Here's the boat code.
Here's the boat code.
Please go right now.
And then shows him he's shutting off the trackers for all the hybrids, which means that they won't be able to find her. Right.
Yes.
And so Joe is like, oh, okay, well, I'm gonna go now. I feel so much better about everything.
Enjoy your trip.
Yes.
Thank you for your service. I need to go so as to not be here anymore.
Right. And so he leaves, and then Arthur notices on the computer that the tracker software is having trouble connecting to Isaac's network card or whatever the fuck.
He's like, well, that's concerning.
So he goes to check on him. He's like, I better go check on
the lab. All right.
Meanwhile, Slightly goes to the lab while Kirsch watches on the cameras, and he tells Morrow that he can't do it.
And Morrow's like, well, that's a shame. Would you like to say any last words to your mother before I kill her?
Right. On cue, Arthur shows up, and an opportunity has just fallen into Slightly's lap. And Slightly, you can just see, he's like, oh, thank God. So they find Isaac dead in the containment cell. Arthur opens it.
Arthur, you have 6 fucking degrees.
Yeah.
How do you not understand that this is a really bad idea?
How is your first thing not grabbing the phone on the wall, being like, we have an emergency?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, at the very least, call security before you open the
Right.
door so that people with guns can be there to help.
Yeah. So while he's busy with Isaac, Slightly opens the egg containment room.
And then leaves.
Yeah. And then the entire time, the xenomorph and the sheep are watching this whole thing happen. And you can just tell Eyeball Sheep is like, it's all coming together.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So
egg opens.
Something skitters out.
Arthur's like, I need to go now.
Yeah, maybe that danger sense finally starts prickling. And he's like, oh, I'm in danger. And
so he runs to the door and is like trying to unlock it, and Slightly's through the glass. He's like, oh, Slightly, can you let me out now? And Slightly's like, I'm really sorry. I can't do that, Dave. It was either this or my mother dies, and I wasn't really willing to do that. So have fun with the facehugger that's right behind you.
Yeah, look, facehugger. And Arthur's like, what? Yeah, and the facehugger fucking grabs him. Arthur goes down. Kirsch watches the entire thing happen without telling anyone. And in fact, on the ship, Boyd Cavalier...
He's like, woo, playing airplane.
He's such a dumbass. Boyd Cavalier notices that Kirsch is really like focused on something, and he asks if everything's okay, and Kirsch is like, yeah.
Absolutely.
Everything's fucking great.
Perfect.
So he clearly has a plan
Yes.
of his own that he's kind of hatching.
So it was like, okay, it wasn't really how I planned it, but we got the guy with the thing on his face, so let's just like drag him into the vents.
Yep.
Unbeknownst to Slightly, one of the bugs gets out of the hive and starts flying around towards him.
Yep.
He manages to close the grate before the bug can get there, so Slightly and Arthur are okay. Well, Slightly is okay. Arthur is
Not gonna be okay. Nope.
The sheep watches all of this. Finally decides, you know what? Maybe I will have some of that hay.
Yeah.
Munch.
This fucking shot, it pushes in on that sheep. and he looks straight into the camera with the most self-satisfied look you can possibly imagine.
On a sheep.
Coming from a sheep that's been co-opted by a parasitic eyeball. You can just tell that motherfucker's like,
oh, yeah.
It is all coming together, my friend. And you know what? I think I will eat some fucking hay. Watch somebody say. And they needle drop whatever. I can't remember what song it is. They
That's
needle
the end of
drop.
the episode.
And that's the end of the episode. And this show's... So I liked... like last week's episode, I really liked, and I've been enjoying it so far. But it grows on me kind of with every episode. I appreciate that they really have put a lot of work into making it look nice.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, the CG, the set design, the prop design, all of that is fantastic.
Yes. And I'm glad that we're finally getting to the part of the plot that Alien fans should be excited about, which is crazed xenomorphs running around eating people, because that is what is coming, right?
Yeah.
So we'll be back next week with the next episode, some more Star Wars news. At some point, we're going to have to the new Lego Rebuild the Galaxy thing is coming out soon. We'll be talking about that. I'll probably talk a little bit about the indie thing after I finish it. So Jimmy says, Wasabi, what show is this? Alien Earth.
Yes.
If you've not seen it, go and watch it. It's great. So that's the end of our show. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for the chats. We appreciate